Well, in Eugene, it's in the 70s today. Just an absolutely beautiful, gorgeous September Saturday. The Oregon Ducks taking the field as always. It's a statement. And today, brilliant silver helmets.
When we talk about tempo, it's usually Oregon's offense, but it's their defense that loves practicing at a ridiculous tempo. So much so that they feel as though they've already played 4 games this week. How? Well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday during practice, they have 3 12-minute periods where they run a total of 95 plays per day. Why do they do it? They want to simulate a game. They want to simulate tempo, alignment at the line of scrimmage, finishing through the whistle. And one of the lead players that does that on the defensive side is senior defensive end DeAnthony Thomas. They call him the praying mantis. He's 6'7", runs a 4.5 40, and he flies off the edge. Today he'll be coming off the edge of Derek Carr. Sometimes he'll drop into coverage, but he will have to be accounted for by this Fresno offense. Now, for all Oregon fans, what do you have to do to beat Fresno State today? Well, defensively, you got to do 3 things. 1, stop the perimeter running attack. 2, stop the vertical passing game. You're going to see a passing attack from Fresno State that we haven't seen ever at Fresno State. And finally, on 3rd down, you better get after Derek Carr. He is a Pac-12 caliber quarterback and an absolute dynamic playmaker with his arm and his legs. It's an exciting atmosphere. Everybody's ready.
84th consecutive sellout at Autzen Stadium again, despite the fact classes here, about half the Pac-12 is on the quarter system, and classes will not start until the end of the month, and the Ducks will play 3 home games, non-conference games here prior to students being on. No shortage, though, of fans, and it's all yellow save for 1 sliver in the end zone, and it's beautifully color coordinated. There's 1 sliver of red that are the Fresno State. There they are, the Fresno State section. They can't hide.
It was awfully kind of the Oregon Ducks to give them a little slice of the stadium.
Eugene, Fresno State will receive the opening kick. Oregon won the toss, deferred. And we're underway. This will be Knox coming out from the 3. Oh, he got stapled. A junior. His numbers last year, especially the touchdown to pick ratio, most impressive. Quick throw to an impressive first-year player. That's Davante Adams, who had 7 catches in Fresno's first game last week. You look at the Esurance starting lineup. That's the 5 up front. It'll get tested, especially against the Dion Jordan talent. And Rouse, along with Adams, who mentioned Adams from California. A first down play of 12 yards. And Carr throwing a long deep out into a lot of Oregon shirts. Oregon starting 4. There's the front. Anchored by Jordan. Nick Aliotti, the D coordinator, calls Kiko Alonso the smash, and Michael Clay the glue of the defense. John Boyette not starting. That's a key member of the Oregon secondary. Late note on that one. And Rouse gets smothered by Jordan.
Well, twice on that drive, Nick Aliotti coming with the pressure. Dion Jordan right down the line of scrimmage, unblocked, makes a tackle on the line of scrimmage.
So Fresno State backed up into 3rd and 9, and now we get jumping and pointing.
Ball start. Offense 73. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
And it's a new era in Fresno State football. The long Pat Hill era gone. Tim DeRuyter take over. The entire staff, save for 1 assistant, is brand new. Everything at Fresno State this year new. And you, Adam, you were talking about the offense is new.
Well, they want to open it up, but they're keeping a lot of the Pat Hill principles of toughness and discipline.
Isaiah Burst spinning away and getting some yardage, but not nearly enough on the long 3rd. And Chip Kelly with the extraordinary start. Think of a gentleman that had never been a head coach before, and all he's done is that. 3 straight BCS Bowls, and he starts this season as a national, one of 2 Pac schools as a national contender. Fake punt, and it's going to work. Well, Fresno State with a shock to start.
Watch the punter right here. He just takes the ball. Andrew Shapiro, nobody on the right side of the Oregon defense. Everybody was fooled, and a great chance. Keep the drive alive, change the field position.
So Derek Carr right back to work now at the Oregon 42. but they take too long.
Delay of game. Offense. Number 4. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Same formation. Looking left comes to Rouse. Nice avoidance. Rouse makes 2 men miss.
And they love to use Robbie Rice out of the backfield, especially in the empty formations. They love the matchup out in space. You see Dion Jordan has a chance to tackle, makes another defender miss.
Fake the run. Nice slant. And sneaking behind was Josh Harper.
Quarterback play. Derek Carr, he pump fakes to get Michael Clay to come up and then sneaks it right into that little window behind him. Excellent job by Derek Carr.
The mark is actually at the 13, first down. Rouse goes inside. And Adam, I'm wondering how significant Tim DeRuyter, I think we saw. Once again, Fresno State goes empty. Carr throws a nice ball, batted up in the air, and then it is almost picked.
Again, empty formation, and it looked like Devontae Adams had Brian Jackson off of the line of scrimmage. It was a great release, and Carr just needed to float that up to Adams, who's a tall wide receiver at 6'2". That could have been a touchdown. Underthrown ball.
Blitz coming middle. Fresno picks it, but they get it from the outside.
One of their favorite pressures. They bring both linebackers, Kiko Alonso and Boseko Locumbo, up the middle. You see Alonso and Locumbo on the outside. Overwhelms.
He's a second year in the program, first-year player from Turlock, California. And Brashears nails it. All right, so that's important. Fresno State put a lot on that first possession.
For Oregon, you just got to play like a duck. They know exactly what they're doing. Keep the tempo up, continue to be explosive, and get the ball. DeAnthony Thomas, you have to be able to feed this kid because he is a touchdown-making machine. And for Fresno, you got to be able to tackle. No yards after contact, no yards after the catch. You have to limit the explosive plays and make Oregon earn every drop on the ground.
The first of what we assume will be several measures of respect for DeAnthony Thomas. Marcus Mariota. His debut, again, he's a second year in the program, but his first game last week, look at the accuracy, 18 of 22, and he only played a quarter and a half.
It was a great start. They did a great job of managing that game, putting in a package of plays that he was comfortable with. I'm sure they're going to add to it this game, but a brilliant start to a freshman year.
6'4" from Honolulu. And a running play on first down. And as it always seems for Oregon, big run by Kenjon Barner out to midfield, and Oregon is going to go right away into the hurry-up as the Esurance offensive line, which Barner himself told us yesterday is the smartest offensive line in college football. Mariota with a keeper. He gets 4. And you'll see just an entire slew of receivers that'll roll in and out. 14 different men caught passes for Oregon last week. And 2nd and 6. The quick pace again, and Barner drives for another Oregon first. Esurance Fresno defense. They've switched this year. They've switched to a 3-4, hoping that those ends, Williams and Jennings, can anchor things. Patrick Sua starting as an inside linebacker due to an injury. And this option, there he goes. Touchdown. There's some things in life just make you just shake your head when you watch this.
Mariota takes a huge lick right there, pitches the ball perfectly. And DeAnthony Thomas, how many times can you say it? Nobody touches him when he carries the ball. It's unbelievable, and I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it. Another touchdown for such an exciting football player. But the stick, Mariota, it happened last week against Arkansas State in that option. He took a huge lick. I couldn't get a read on who it was, but he pitches the ball out there. Perfect timing and execution, and DeAnthony Thomas does the rest.
To score 3 points, Oregon takes 4 plays to score 7, and that just plays right into their incredible pace of the last couple of years. This will be taken by different return man out across the 20-yard line.
Well, we love to give DeAnthony Thomas and the skill positions all the credit, but watch the perfect orchestra that has to happen. Mariota right here at quarterback. He's getting ready to pitch the ball. You got Colt Lyerla, Josh Huff on the outside, and DeAnthony Thomas is going to take the pitch. Watch the blocking.
Huff's block was awesome.
And that's something that this Oregon offense stresses. If you can't block as a wide receiver, you are not going to see the field, and that's a huge reason why this team is so explosive, and guys like DeAnthony Thomas can get to the edge.
And off inside to Robbie Rouse. I would imagine that in the film room this week, Josh Huff's block is going to get him a lot of praise.
It's all about teamwork, and yes, they have explosive athletes, but they have to be able to get the blocks on the outside. They do such a good job of getting to the second level, and then they have the speed to just kill you deep.
Well, that's how DeAnthony Thomas has become such an extraordinary weapon, and now the Oregon defense pursues Rouse. Kiko Alonso. Right, Cargo's empty. Underneath cross, and going to be dragged down just short of the first down. Ifo Ekpre Olumu.
Nice job by Olumu, man-to-man coverage, and they're trying to get Devontae Adams to just be able to run after the catch.
Well, you can't punt it away from Thomas. What you can do is hang it and hope it's a fair catch. And that one hangs short, down by Fresno State. So Oregon, which won the initial Pac-12 championship game on this very field last year to make it 3 straight. DeAnthony Thomas's ridiculous ratio of touchdowns to touches. And yes, this is the staple of Oregon football.
He reminds me a lot of Devin Hester. That's how dangerous he is. Anytime Devin Hester, the Chicago Bears, gets his hands on the ball in the punt game, the return game, and open field, he's an unbelievable weapon, a great game breaker.
So the Oregon defense did themselves a favor there. They got a 3 and out, so now Mariota back to work.
Mariota's doing a great job because he's going up against a 3-4 defense, and everything changes for him. That means his identification, where linebackers are aligned, where the safeties are, and that's totally different week to week.
Well, Barner, look at him find a great alley. Still going. And finally run out of bounds by Darren Smith.
Patience. Watch Kenjon Barner. He stretches it out all the way to the sideline, and then you see the natural separation right there. Great job by the offensive line creating the vertical seams, and Barner hits the hole.
34 yards. Now Mariota going to roll off the fake. And Mariota keeps it. He can move a little bit. Mariota keeping. What a great fake. What a great fake. All the way up out of bounds. Not score. Ruled out.
He shows off this sneaky speed that he has. So effortless right here. He just fakes the pitch, and they think that he's going to get the ball out there to Barner. But he turns the corner. A lot of different ways this Oregon offense can get at you.
And they'll score on the next play. DeAnthony Thomas. 2 touches, 2 scores. Well, you know as well as anyone it ain't supposed to be. What's staggering about Oregon is how, you know, there's a phrase that's kind of blown up in football the last couple of years, explosive plays. In Oregon's case, they get in these modes where it'd be much simpler to list their non-explosive plays.
Ruling on the field, on the touchdown, was that the runner was out of bounds at the 3-yard line prior to the touchdown run. Plays under further review.
Well, apparently they're reviewing Mariota's run. And Oregon, Chip Kelly's trying to get an explanation. Did Oregon hurt themselves with the, not that it's a big deal, but this is what they're reviewing. See Mariota's left toe, and that's what we saw the replay. The fans in the stadium can't tell when it's on the board.
Something's on, he said something on your phone.
So from everything we understood from what Jay Stricker said, the buzz came down to review the previous play, and the buzz came prior to the touchdown that Thomas scored.
And I think that's what Chip Kelly is talking. He feels like they were able to run that play before the buzz came down. And of course, there's no way of knowing when exactly that occurred.
Well, and this is going to be something I'm sure that will happen throughout the year. And
another advantage of the tempo.
Well, Adam, as you say, that the tempo Oregon plays out is going to force the replay booth to be, hey, if there's any question, buzz right away.
It looks like on TV when you witness it in
Prior to the ball being snapped on the last play, replay stopped the game. The runner was ruled out of bounds at the 3-yard line. That play has been confirmed. Oregon ball, first and goal at the 3. Timer, reset the game clock to 6.
That's an excellent explanation from Jay Strickers. And now Oregon's not happy with the result, but it's the right call. I mean, the initial call was correct on the field right there.
You can clearly see he's out of bounds.
And Kenjon Barner's going to get the handoff, and he'll score the touchdown.
They switch Barner over to the right side, and it's a pretty underrated offensive line. They don't get a lot of accolades for being a big, tough, physical group, but they play so well as a unit. And they try and get up there, stick a man on a man. They get to the second level, and these backs are excellent at reading the blocks and exploding through the hole.
Rob Beard puts it through. Oregon has run 9 plays and gained 141 yards, and they have 2 touchdowns. Are we surprised? And the return man is struck down at the 10-yard line. And Fresno State pinned deep, but that's a good first play. Rouse gets out for 9 before Dion Jordan drops.
That's a nice run. Fresno State, they have to settle down. They pull their right guard, Richard Helapico. Does a good job getting up there on the running back. And now they're faced with a 2nd and short. That's a down that they want to see. Short yardage on 2nd down.
Robbie Rouse, maybe by halftime, is going to wind up becoming the all-time Fresno State leader in carries. And sometime in the next week or 2, he's going to become the all-time yardage rushing leader in school history.
This is a school that has a great tradition of 1,000-yard rushers. Of course, their most recent one being Ryan Matthews, who had an excellent year, 1,800 yards.
Rouse runs for a first down, but this time Wade Likipi. There you see where Rouse stands on the active list. I think a lot of us, like me, would not have realized that Denard Robinson is that high.
He's pretty good at running the ball up there in Michigan.
Trying to see if he can create a mismatch. And that ball juggled and dropped.
That was Eric Dargan, the strong safety, number 4. Was able to hit Burst before he could bring down the pass.
Fresno State needs 11. Carr in trouble. Carr can't get away, and there's Dion Jordan. What a first quarter. It's already 5 tackles and a sack.
Well, that was all about his motor and his intent, because initially he comes off of the right side there and he just keeps on coming. Finally is able to get to Derek Carr, and that's what Nick Aliotti, the defensive coordinator, said when he talked about Dion Jordan, is the fact that his motor is one speed. He's a heat-seeking missile out there, and if he could have 11 Dion Jordans on the field, they would be one of the best defenses in history of college football.
Well, that was I'm not sure where that runs on the gamut between bravery and foolishness. DeAnthony Thomas, as important as he is, and there's Josh Huff, who's down on the play. Thomas leaping up to catch that high bounce right in the middle of opposing players. As Yogi Roth so accurately pointed out, there's not a lot of focus on the Oregon defense, but it has some talent. And Chip Kelly talked to us about Dion Jordan.
Just really proud of Dion, where he came from, and the success he's had not only on the football field but in the classroom. Came in here as a skinny wide receiver and now is potentially an All-American player on the defensive side of the ball for us. Has grown into being one of our best leaders. A very vocal leader, but also a great leader by example. Young players gravitate to him. He does a great job of mentoring young kids and making sure that he takes care of them. Really excited for what he's put in to kind of see where this thing takes it, because I don't know if we've had a harder worker than Deon.
That's a great compliment. And you get the idea that Chip Kelly likes to talk about his defense, because obviously he's asked all the time, and the focus here is always on the offense.
Well, I feel like this defense is one of the best defenses they've had around here in years. They're deep, and when you watch them on tape, it's evident. They don't just have athletes on the offensive side of the ball, but the guys on the defensive side of the ball can run like the wind, and they play aggressive, they play fast, they have a lot of fun, and they have stars at every level of the defense. When you think about Deion Jordan, think about Michael Clay, you think about John Boyette, the free safety for the Ducks. So a lot of playmakers and a lot of depth for the defensive side of the ball.
Talented receivers, and that depth will be put to work here as Huff goes down on this block.
But there wasn't a tremendous amount of contact right there.
Now Oregon to work, 41-yard line drive start. Middle screen thrown high and off Barner's hand, and averaging only 14 yards a play. And Fresno going to track down. There's good pursuit on the defense, and that's one of the men, Donovan Lewis. And in a 3-4, when you switch, there's always a guy like this, Lewis, who was playing with his hand down. Now he's playing up.
Yeah, he's really climbed the chart as camp has went on. You mentioned, converting from defensive end, and that's the pursuit that you want to have. And Nick Toth, the defensive coordinator, like all defensive coordinators, said that when we turn on the film, we got to see our guys flying around. We got to have that attitude, like we're going out there to make something happen.
And now it's a long third coming up for Oregon. A spot they're in a lot. That ball is caught and then dropped incomplete. Is the ruling as Barner got hit. This, as we have a player down, and that is Donovan Lewis. A play after his excellent tackle. Donovan Lewis is hurt for Fresno State. Doesn't happen often. 3 and out for Oregon. Fresno State brought 66 players on this trip, and they, coaches, again, it's an entirely new staff. They freely admit that depth is more of an issue for them.
And that's kind of where it starts to affect your football team, when guys have to play more snaps than they're accustomed to playing in a pretty tough environment.
Jackson Rice punts the ball out of bounds. And it'll be marked out near the 30-yard line. Tim DeRuyter, after a long tenure of Pat Hill, Tim DeRuyter becoming the head coach, his first head coaching job. Played at the Air Force Academy. Inherits an outstanding senior runner and a good quarterback, getting preseason honors as Fresno State is now in the Mountain West. And you see it was Jim Sweeney, and a lot of the great quarterback tradition came under Jim Sweeney's watch at Fresno State, and then Pat Hill, who's now with the Atlanta Falcons. Cross is caught for a short gain. Tim DeRuyter and much of his staff came. Tim DeRuyter's last stop had been at Texas A&M. He went down there to work for Mike Sherman.
When he talked about when he came in here, a lot of the kids, a lot of the people around Fresno State weren't happy because they loved Pat Hill. They were recruited by Pat Hill. He brought him in there, and slowly but surely he said, look, we're going to embrace our past. We're going to embrace that legacy, but we're going to do things a little bit differently. And slowly but surely, guys started to buy in, and they're liking what he's doing here at Fresno State.
Carr throws that. Well, let's see. That's going to be marked very close to a first down. Josh Harper on the catch. Let's see if his knee may, yeah. We're going to rule his knee touched the turf.
The ruling on the previous play is the first down. The play is under further review.
That's the point. That's the end of the play. I believe he was ruled to have touched his knee. So if there's a review, it will be that. Where should the ball be spotted there? Because his knee down.
Like maybe the 48.5.
The frequency
After
of
further review, the ruling on the field stands. Play is caught. First down is made. First down, Fresno State.
My point is simply you want to make sure you keep the spectators in person here. You keep them engaged.
Well, absolutely.
Stopping the play all the time.
It's also important. You got to get the calls right. And there's nothing worse, whether you're in a game or watching a game, when The officials don't take the time, they don't get the call right, and now we're worried about legislating the game instead of the action taking care of itself.
All right, so now Fresno State back to this set they've used quite a bit here. Empty backfield for Carr. This time 3 receivers left. And that one should have been picked.
Well, it was a zone pressure. They bring both linebackers from the outside, and Remington drops perfectly right in the zone. Derek Carr didn't see him.
That's a great angle. It's a little tougher catch than it looked. And there's another one. Wow. This has been Kiko Alonso frustrated, and this is what a defense wants to be known as. They can take the ball away, and 2 in a row that have escaped.
Well, he drops.
Oh my goodness!
Perfectly in coverage. That's exactly how you play it. Not a good pass by Derek Carr. I think maybe he thought his wide receiver was going to break that route short.
Oh, a nice bit of eluding, and that's going to be very close to a first down, but the ball came free. Anthony Riggins getting a chance to play. A sophomore. And there's just a brief extracurricular. Now it's going to be 4th down and about 2.
A nice job on the in cut. Derek Carr putting it right there, but breaking tackles and trying to get upfield. That was a nice stick. Couldn't quite see and get a read on who that was. But a nice stick right there to get the ball free.
It's Ifo Ekpreolumu.
He forced a fumble last week against Arkansas State early in the first quarter.
And Adam, you're right, that hit cost Fresno State because that was very close to a first down. Instead, now 4th down and 2. Shapiro runs to his left, punts the ball, and once again will not be able to be fielded by Thomas. Mariota handing it off, and Barner finds nice hole. And he's out almost to the 24-yard line. Oregon will play Washington State September 29, but they'll play them in the Seattle Seahawks Stadium. Barner, ooh, and there's nice penetration by Jennings, Andy Jennings, off the defensive side for Fresno. That'll make it 3rd down. Yogi Roth?
Yeah, when you watch Kenjon Barner, he's got such patience at the line of scrimmage, and in this zone scheme, he has to do that. He said he doesn't read the defensive lineman, he actually reads the linebackers when he's making his cuts. Also, fellas, Josh Huff, he is out. Most likely he's in the locker room getting evaluated on his left knee.
Every time something happens to stop the game, when Oregon has the ball, you hear the entire stadium boos. That's what's going on here. The officials are having discussions.
Play clock is not operating. Play time will be kept on the field.
Color contrast is really pretty. Barner coming outside. And Barner using every bit of the width of the field.
I think Kenjon Barner is such an underrated running back. He really has an exceptional skill set. And it's pretty easy. That's a big hole right there. All he has to do is use his speed to get to the outside.
And driving, he's going to be stopped short of a first down. Darrell Hawkins. Now, normally you'd say end of the quarter, but not with Oregon. They're going to get up here and run at least one more play. Assuming that they get the ball down in time. And Mariota makes sure he gets the play off. And he's going to run and come close. Going to be just shy of a first down. Sean Alston on the stop for Fresno State. So that will get us to the end of the first quarter. Bolster UCLA and its new era of football. Great start for him at Rice, Adam.
A lot of big runs in that game.
That was a 3rd down and 1 play for Oregon to start the quarter, and Barner gets just enough to keep the drive going. Today running. Mariota keeps for a short gain. And Mariota changing on 2nd down. Oh, right in his face. And did they get the face mask? Palarugo.
In the tackle box.
He's a senior from Livermore, California, in the Bay Area.
Right.
Yeah, got him by the shoulder pad.
Right off of the edge. That was Mariota was trying to get the ball out hot to Kenjon Barner, but he didn't have a chance to avoid the rush.
Quick ball just to get it. And there's a flag getting it into the hands of Thomas.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And L.J. Jones.
Well, the stiff arm from DeAnthony Thomas was just...
Barner, that one came close. That had the look. Once he got to the second level, he may go. He does get a first down.
Well, then you notice with these backs is they're so quick at getting to the second level. They just explode through the line of scrimmage.
The other thing that confronts the Oregon tempo is that on first down plays, you're moving the sticks. And you can see there, they actually, an official marked the spot as the chains had not been put in place yet when Oregon snapped the ball. Barner's getting to work. He's got 11 carries so far. 98 yards. Mariota throwing that seam right up there toward the post, and it's incomplete.
This offense is deadly in the red zone with their play action pass, trying to hit low across the middle. And Davon Dunn doing a nice job in coverage, man-to-man.
3rd and 3. Fake to Barner, quick shot. And they get the tight end, Colt Lyerla. Touchdown.
Well, Colt Lyerla, he can be as good as he wants to be. He's a good-looking football player. Breaks the tackle right there of Deron Smith, the safety for the Bulldogs, and powers his way to the end zone. In this day and age in college football, the big athletic tight end is such a weapon. And he's taken over for a guy in David Paulson, who made a lot of plays for this offense last season.
This ball muffed at the 5-yard line and only out to the 14-yard line. Good special teams cover by Oregon's Tyson Coleman.
Yeah, here with Athletic Director Rob Mullins. Rob, what do the Pac-12 networks mean to Oregon?
Well, we're extremely excited to get the news last night that this network has joined the family, and for us that's a wonderful development because so many Duck fans have Dish Network, loyal Ducks, loyal to Dish, and so we're excited to have them on board. The networks mean so much. It's great exposure not only for our university but for our student athletes. With every football game being on nationally, it provides tremendous exposure, helps in recruiting, and in addition to that, you know, all these other great live events for all of our student athletes, whether they're Olympic sports or female student athletes. So finally, great exposure for all that happens in the Pac-12.
What's it like to come here on Saturday and see the culture at Autzen?
Well, it's one of the best atmospheres in all of sports. It's fantastic. Everyone's dressed in the colors, lightning yellow today. Everyone's into the game, excited about the offense, and just loving the Ducks.
All right, back up to you guys. A lot of excitement down here on the sideline.
All right, Yogi. Lightning yellow, I like that. Pass that'll be short of a first down, coming to Rouse out of the backfield. Of course, one of Oregon's proudest alums and responsible for much of the change in uniforms, Phil Knight, who was last night inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
How about that? And it's such a big deal. Big reason why they're able to recruit is the kids love the uniforms and the color combinations.
All right, Carr fake a roll. Now they run a counter, and that's going to be a first down gain. So well executed play there by Fresno State, and Robbie Rouse gets the first down.
Well, this is a slick little play design. They faked the sprint out with Derek Carr taking advantage of the pursuit from the linebackers, and Rouse is able to cut back across the grain for a big gain.
Rouse carries again. Robbie Rouse started the day 194 yards shy of becoming Fresno State's all-time career rushing leader, and the coaches cringed last night at him when we asked him. Robbie Rouse has fumbled once in his career at Fresno. Once.
They didn't want you to jinx them. That's unbelievable. So dependable to have that many carries, that many yards, and only put it on the turf one time. Excellent.
So Derek Carr now in the gun on second down. He dumped it over the middle, but errant. Oregon showing 6 up at the line. 4 come. And Carr's pass incomplete. So Shapiro gets his punt away. And Thomas, there's good cover there by Fresno State. 36 yards on the net. Last year, Oregon played LSU in its first game of the season, lost that game, and as a result, they had to play uphill in terms of the national picture for the rest of the year. Mariota goes down. This year, 3 non-conference home games, but Chip Kelly was telling us Kansas State dropped them. Oregon had signed to play Kansas State home and home. Kansas State decided not to do that. They do have a series signed with Texas A&M coming up.
He wants to play the big schools. He likes the challenge. He wants Oregon to be in those marquee games. But this year they couldn't find anybody to fill the schedule once they got dropped.
Throwing a deep ball, and in the jump ball, it is caught. Is it ruled a catch? Officials are going to confer, and it is.
Well, Will Murphy, this is great coverage right there. He comes up, goes and high points the football.
He's just up the road, just north of here in Albany. It's actually close to Corvallis. But that's going to make him feel good, make his family feel good.
Ruling on the previous play.
They're going to review this, and I'm certain it's because of where the ball ends up pinned against his hip.
I think the question is if he had control of it the entire time. You see it squirts out and hits the turf once he hits the ground.
Let's see, does the ball hit the turf? Yeah, the question, I think, eventually at the end there, it does.
I'm not sure if there's a right call in this situation. The question is, does he have control when he has control?
And of course, the ball comes out. The receiver did not control the ball until he was out of bounds. The pass is incomplete. Oregon ball, 3rd down and 12 on the 29-yard line.
And look at that burst for a first down.
They stunt right into that run. Run the perfect run blitz, and DeAnthony Thomas finds a way to split it.
And that's a great call, Adam, because that's, you know, a guy of Thomas's size. You think he's not going to be able to run interior like that.
Well, the great ones, they have a knack. They can do it all. He just feels it. Doesn't always know exactly why he's doing things, but watch the stunt right here. And he's able to score it up in there. Number 98, Andy Jennings, has a chance to bring him down.
And this time Thomas can't get outside. Well, that young man's getting active here for Fresno State. Tristan Opalaugo. He's got that size that a lot of people look for in these 3-4 defenses, doesn't he, Adam?
And he does a good job keeping the edge out there. When we talked to Nick Toth, the defensive coordinator, he said Oregon attacks the edges. They attack the perimeter in the run game so well. But we have to be good with our outside linebackers to make sure we set that edge and turn them back into all our help.
Oregon 4 out of 6 on thirds. They've had a few more long thirds as this half has gone along. And not able to get to the first down stick there.
And a nice job downfield in coverage for the Bulldogs. They did a nice job up front, collapsing the pocket. Mariota showing some elusiveness.
Well, they don't have to punt. And they may score. Thomas gets down the sideline. DeAnthony Thomas on 4th down. 51 yards.
Well, I don't know what to say. Watch this run, the tackles that he breaks. We talked about it earlier, how he doesn't seem to get touched. But it doesn't matter. 3 or 4 tackles on that run. He finds a way to get to the outside, and he could simply do it all. Not just an open field runner, but the toughness and the strength to stay up and just find another way to get to the end zone. Unbelievable.
Fresno State jumping on the PAT.
Offside. Defense unabated to the kicker. Half the distance to goal. Try to be attempted from the 1.5.
But it does fit. DeAnthony Thomas is special.
I'm so glad I don't have to play against that guy. I'm so happy.
And after the penalty, the kick through. DeAnthony Thomas, 5 carries for 100 yards, and that's his 2nd touchdown today. 3 touchdowns last week, 2 more in the first half today. This is going to be Isaiah Burse. And what DeAnthony Thomas does, Adam, you make a great point here. I mean, he's breaking. This is not just speed.
You usually see him outside on the edge, out racing everybody. The offensive line doing a good job. Hronis Grasu, Ryan Clant, Nick Cody stretching the defense. Find the end zone is just, it's unbelievable. There's not many football players that I've seen that have that type of ability to consistently break the game open and find the end zone.
And that's the great point, is Fresno State has its best drive start here, 30-yard line. And good defensive smother on Rouse. But that's what DeAnthony Thomas is forcing you to do, to play the game we often do. There's a flag down here. The comparison.
The best guy that he reminds me of is in the NFL, Devin Hester. I mean, he's
personal foul, face mask, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Yogi, how about you? Who does he remind you of?
Oh, it's no question, fellas. It's Reggie Bush. And I had a chance to coach him at USC. And he's got that speed, elusiveness, and game breaker speed. Every time he touches the ball, you stand up and say, oh, boy, he's gone. He's gone. I mean, he has that ability.
15-yard face mask. Inside run again to Rouse for 5. And the point Yogi just made, what I thought when I've watched Thomas on tape, it's the first time I've seen him live, the quality you said, can score every time he touches the ball, reminds me of Rocket Ismail. Going back 20 years ago now, but at Notre Dame, that was the kind of player he was every time he touched the ball.
Great call. And all those players have one thing in common. You hold your breath, and when they don't score, you're almost mad and you're almost disappointed.
And Fresno State now with Derek Carr, 9 of 16 throwing. Puts that out high.
Working on the left tackle, Austin Wentworth. And Derek Carr doesn't have a chance to set up and throw the ball. Nobody in a 3-point stance for the Ducks.
And a high throw incomplete. And Shapiro had the well-executed fake punt run for a first down on that drive. Oh, he gets a good bounce there, and that one, we've got to pin Oregon back. A big stat half for Marcus Mariota in game 2, not like his start last week. But it's been Kenjon Barner and DeAnthony Thomas who had big first halves. A lot of work on the ground by Oregon. 200-yard runners in the first half.
It's not bad.
No.
Not bad at all.
Barner swarmed over there.
And he idolized Jeremiah Masoli. And went to St. Louis High School. Made a lot of plays for this offense a few years ago.
A screen, and there's a lot of room for Barner. Finally an angle that ran him out. There is a flag way back where the screen play first started.
Personal foul, tripping on the offense, number 55. Penalties enforced, half the distance to the goal, still third down.
We'll see 55 right there in the middle. He gets out for the screen to try and spring Barner, and he tries to go down and cut block, and they get him because of the kind of a leg whip where he kind of turned around and tried to use the lower leg.
So Oregon has marched back now to its 5-yard line on third down. Ooh, and DeAnthony Thomas can't hang on.
Kind of a funny ball right there for Mariota. Floats up in the air.
So Jackson Rice will be punting it from the end zone. Not a very good kick. Whoa, it takes a little skip backwards to benefit Fresno State. And Carr 9 of 18, 76 yards. They're trying to establish Rouse. And Adam, it looks like Oregon's done a good job of defending him. So that puts Carr back to the air. And a good tackle. No missed tackle there by Avery Patterson of Oregon out in the flat. So that's just a short gain on this throw to Rouse.
That's a great tackle. Kiko Alonso up the middle, puts pressure on Derek Carr.
Fresno State's only converted 1/3 in 8 tries.
Watch pressure from Michael Clay and Kiko Alonso up the middle.
Oh, here they come, bringing everybody. And that ball out for grabs and goes out of bounds, intended for Victor Dean. They're going to line up here and go on 4th and 9.
Again, watch the front. Nobody's in a three-point stand, moving around, trying to cause confusion.
That's what this is, just to confuse Carr. And then actually Carr quick kicks it. And that's going to get down inside the 5. All right, so there's a little different wrinkle again, something you no longer see much of. All right, so Oregon backed up starting from its 2-yard line. Second straight possession they've been trapped. Fresno State's not yet been able to take advantage of this field position switch. So the run pass mix totally different this week. Oregon has run 26 and passed 11. They'll run again this time. Fresno State's front stops.
Get in the running lane. Don't allow any momentum and make sure that you tackle well.
Ducks need 7. Mariota going to get trapped, and he got out of the shadow of his goal line and then dumps it out for a first down. That, I think, Adam, I'm sure you and Yogi both, that's what you, when you watch, it's Hawkins on the catch. When you watched Mariota last week, this is what impresses you.
Oh, this is sweet. Watch him, and it's like he's got eyes in the back of his head, reminiscent of some Michael Vick action at Virginia Tech.
He had not reached the line of scrimmage, so it was a legal forward pass. There's another one to Dwayne Stanford, and Tristan Opalaugo has been a real good defender for Fresno State in his first half, but he's going to have nightmares. He had a clean shot of Mariota. Again, Mariota has an outlet man. And coming to the near sideline and getting out to stop the clock is Barner. So this has been an interesting half to see Barner. 15 runs and 3 receptions.
Getting a lot of work. And the thing about Mariota is the fact that young freshman, the game's not too big for him. And when he gets in trouble, he doesn't take a sack and he doesn't necessarily run the ball, but he finds the outlet receiver.
Here he goes. And a good trip up, otherwise he might have gone. Darren Smith and Mariota.
A great job reading the defensive end. He crashes down on Kenjon Barner. Nobody left to tackle Mariota. And if Nick Toss said, this quarterback, he can go 60, not just 8.
And Nick Tolton on the Fresno State side, their D coordinator, they just took a timeout, a defensive time. Great play here by Colt Laierla.
Yeah, Colt Laierla, he breaks the tackle, trying to rumble to the end zone. The extension, getting the ball over the goal line, showing the athleticism. And if he develops and becomes a tight end, that all his great physical tools can make him be, he's going to be a great weapon for years to come here.
Big-bodied, athletic tight ends, and showing how versatile and how important they can be to an offense.
Yeah, last year they had 3 tight ends combined for 86 catches. Of course, Kobe Fleener, the headliner.
And there's a first down throw. Now Oregon is in scoring position. That's going to be out of bounds.
If he doesn't score, people get mad.
Yeah. Cracked a little bit of a smile there. And Barner almost got in.
You can drive any vehicle that you want.
And Barner spins in. So fitting that he has had a workhorse first half, but Kenjon Barner gets the touchdown, and that is one. You talk about a 98-yard drive here. That's one play was the entire difference. It was Mariota's third down escape.
Yeah, that's all it was. A great opportunity to Fresno State to potentially force a punt, give the offense some field position and a chance to score. Instead, you let Oregon keep the ball, and they drive downfield, put another touchdown on the board before half. The game it's a game of inches.
Offside on the defense by contact. Penalties declined.
That young man will be very happy someday that Dad's saving him.
Getting him ready.
I'll tell you one thing. You talk about a physical fitness test. To be the mascot at Oregon,
who is that mascot?
Be in shape.
I don't know. We might have to. I don't know if he was going all the way down on those. I think he might be cheating us a little bit.
It's Isaiah Burse on the run back for Fresno State. He comes out to the 25-yard line. Robbie Rouse has also been a workhorse, just like Barner for Oregon. Robbie Rouse has had 13 carries now and 4 receptions.
And really all facets of the game defensively.
And Carr, boy, Davante Adams was dragged all the way across the field. Comes back to Adams again. And Adams going to run it out of bounds just across midfield.
Week last week against Weaver State, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Carr in trouble, gets rid of it.
Trying to set up the screen, Tyson Coleman. You see Robbie Rouse set up to block him and tried to slip out, but Coleman with too much pressure.
Oregon really spreading that defensive front. And Robbie Rouse made a nice move inside, and he's going to get a first down out of this, so that'll give Fresno time to get to the line. 10 seconds in the half. And in fact, Fresno's going to take a timeout here. One thing, they inherited a real good quarterback. They inherited this man, Robbie Rouse, for one more year.
And you're seeing a concerted effort in this last drive to get the ball in Robbie Rouse's hands, because he's really their only chance of sustaining anything offensively today. But the Ducks doing a good job wrapping up this offense outside of that fake punt that allowed Fresno State to extend that very first drive of the game, which led to the 3 points. Defensively, it's been a good performance.
And Fresno State's challenge, and we'll get into it more in the second half, this year will be improving their defense. That was their weak spot last year in a 4-9 season. Now they have a chance to try and score before the half. And this will get them at least into field goal range as Davante Adams.
Timeout, Oregon. Timeout number 1. 30 seconds. Timeout.
Well, Derek Carr, in the offseason, gets together with his older brother David, and they break down. David Carr breaks down every game that Derek Carr has played at Fresno. They break down the tape, they go through it together, and that's really the tutelage that Derek Carr gets. 43 yards here by Quentin Brashears. Well, that's a nice note for Fresno State. Oklahoma State and Arizona. The big night game tonight. Also Duke at Stanford. So Oregon running the ball, and Barner was out of bounds before the ball came free. Yogi Roth?
Yeah, it's so important that Marcus Mariota is getting these game snaps at quarterback. There's nothing like live action. I'm talking about changing protections, re-identifying the middle linebacker, all the little things that he has to do to run this offense, and you can't always get those reps simulated in practice. So this is great reps for him right now.
Now play fake here. He's dragged, and the ball punched away. And covered by Fresno State.
Great heads-up play by Sean Plummer, and Mariota almost gets away from him. But you see, as he's wrapping it, he has the awareness with the right arm to go in there, punch the ball out. That's a great job of securing the tackle and then trying to make something happen. That's a big play, something that this defense desperately needed.
They've been down twice, settled for field goals. Carr escapes. And then he'll eat it. He was trying to see if he could float a ball down the sideline to his receiver. And it's caught. Well, Carr threw it up there, and Isaiah Burse ran it down near corner, touchdown Fresno State. And Carr took a big-time pop. And, yeah, he took a big hit from Kiko Alonso.
Well, great job of Derek Carr. Watch Alonso coming right up the middle. And it didn't look like much, but he puts that ball right in there. Excellent coverage.
And that doesn't tell you something about a quarterback? Carr stood in knowing he was going to get hammered. And delivers this ball to Burse. So Fresno State midway through the third. First touchdown. And here's Fresno State kicking it deep for the first time. And Braylon Addison will come from the goal line. And Fresno covers the kick well. Addison does not make the 20-yard line.
During the return, illegal block on the back on the return team, number 33. Penalties enforced half the distance to the goal, first down.
Well, and Ted, the defense came to play coming out of that third quarter, or the halftime. And Sean Plummer with a big play, forcing a turnover. This defense last season, only 9 turnovers the entire season. That was worst in college football.
And now Fresno unleashing a little pressure on Mariota. He just got away from a goal line hit. Well, another Pac-12 school. They'll have Colorado playing them next week in Fresno. Oh, another loose ball, and it's Fresno State's. Well, the same kind of plays that have worked so well for Oregon, just quick smoke passes to guys with speed and space.
Nick talked about getting that mojo. The defenses that take the ball away have something about them, and when you're flying around to the ball, you're physical. And a word that he liked to use called population. That means as many guys to the football as possible, then good things are going to start to happen. 2 turnovers here in the last 2 series. And that's what they want to see out of this defense. Good job coming out of halftime, being down by so many points.
Big credit to Sean Alston. He was the forced fumble. He's the man who stripped it. So Carr back. And to the sideline gets Adams.
And last week it was against the backups. Right now, the starters are in the game.
Second down. Rouse inside, does not get the first. Rouse alongside Carr. Throws the fade for Adams, broken up.
A nice job by Ekpre Olumu sticking with the coverage. Devontae Adams really probably should have came down with that ball. It's the second time today he had his hands on some ball he could have come down with.
Yeah, and actually he defended well. He never did touch the ball. Adams did, and Fresno State will go on 4th. And that may be a first down. Let's see where the mark is. They could get a first, and I believe they did. And what a great job of extending the play by Carr. And he found Robbie Rouse, who gets a first down.
Nice job, Derek Carr. He's holding the ball. Deion Jordan closing in on him. And he finds Robbie Rouse right next to the sideline and sneaks the ball in there. Great job of making plays by the playmakers, Carr and Rouse.
From the 1, Rouse does not get it. Lead that surge, Deion Jordan.
Robbie Rouse, good wide receiver out of the backfield. Concentration right there on the edge. Big play for Fresno State.
Well, you can see how it's gone so far in this quarter. Can Fresno State get its second touchdown? No, Rouse is tripped up by Alonso.
They come out with a different looking formation and try and run the power. But Alonso in the backfield, penetrating.
Three-man bunch left. Carr was looking there now. Oh, and Carr thought he could get out, and he couldn't. Taylor Hart.
Number 66 must leave the game for one down because his helmet came off through play.
45 sacks last season by this defensive line. They're so athletic up front. It looked like Carr was going to be able to sneak out of the pocket.
Well, Brashears from 25 yards out kicks it through, but that is going to feel, I would think, Adam, like a loss for Fresno State.
There's a huge emphasis by Nick Toth, the defensive coordinator, trying to create a culture for this defense to fly around and make plays. Sean Plummer, the outside linebacker, forcing the fumble. Then the very next play or series for the Oregon Ducks, they give up the ball again in their own territory. So credit the Fresno State defense for coming out after halftime and getting after it.
Now Oregon will get the ball and need to awaken. Their offense only 9 yards so far in the second half. Addison will run this out from 5 yards. And again, Fresno covers the kick well, and Addison once again can't get to the 20.
Nick Toth said, look, it's about attitude. It's about mojo. We have to go out there and fly around and hit people, and good things are going to happen.
And that's what Oregon's going to try now to swing back all the flow their way. Barner gets a carry. And Mariota's pass. That'll be a first down. Spin after the catch by Keenan Lowe. And Oregon pushing it out to the 30-yard line. And I see Lowe just trying to get off the field right away and get a new guy out there so they can keep the tempo going. Mariota going to keep? No. Tripped up. Palugo again. I think, Adam, he's made some pretty impressive plays today.
Yeah, he's had a game, and that's a good job of coming down, trying to take away the read from Mariota to hand the ball off to Kenjon Barner, and then coming out and making the play again. He called his number quite a bit today.
Flags to start. This must be on the defense. And that's Carson York. Great story. He worked so hard to come back from a knee injury he suffered in the Rose Bowl.
Illegal motion, offense, number 15, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
You see Colt Laerla, tight end right there on the line on the left side right there.
Barner going inside on second down, trying to just get something back. And this is an Oregon team that, again, we're going to get a defensive timeout taken here by Fresno State.
Fresno State, timeout number 1, 30 seconds, timeout.
6 conversions on third down today for Oregon, 6 of 12, but Mariota and the Ducks facing a major challenge here, needing 16. And Fresno bringing a bunch. They had 6 up near the line. They rush 4. Mariota misses 1. Mariota's going to get some yardage, but can't get to the stick.
Well, good job initially of eluding the pressure and then breaking the pocket, but 16 yards is a lot of yards to get on third downs on a quarterback scramble again. And so far in this quarter, holding the Ducks scoreless.
Credit Travis Brown as well, who actually hit Mariota and drove him out of bounds. 44-yard punt by Rice is a fair catch, but Fresno State going to get right back to work. They spun the game their way, and Stanford did not have a big enough cushion. Now a different quarterback in the game. That is Greg Watson taking the snap and running it. Watson, a 5'10", 211-pound sophomore, 1 snap. Carr's back on the field. Going Rouse. That's one of the few times he's been able to really get past the line of scrimmage. 15 yards. Carr, boy, Alonso was coming in on him again, and this time Carr just launched it. Throws an underneath ball. It's going to get some yards, give him a shorter third. Faces 3rd and 4. Carr hit as he's throwing. Tim DeRuyter changed his mind. He was going to send the punt team out, and he's changed his mind. Fresno State's going to go for it.
Well, it was a great job of Locumbo coming underneath the right tackle, Cody Wickman.
Here comes the blitz, and it's again a quick kick, but this one's not very far. And that doesn't work the way Tim DeRuyter would have wanted. So the second quick kick in the game executed by Derek Carr. Yards, exactly. 34-yard line for Oregon in the final minute of the third. Mariota keeps, then pitches. And DeAnthony Thomas is run out, taking him all the way to the sideline. Now Mariota throws one up the sideline, incomplete.
The way they have come out and played in this third quarter. This is not the Oregon offense that we are used to seeing. They look out of sync. They just don't seem to be able to get anything going.
So they face a longer third. Mariota is going to roll. He's going to keep it. He's going to get it, and a lot more. A lot more. All the way down to the Fresno State 35, and a flag thrown at the end of the play.
There was no foul on the play on number 54. The block was a side block. Quarter is over.
Oregon really started this game and have leaned on the running game for much of it, Adam.
It was a 1-2 combination of Kenjon Barner and, of course, DeAnthony Thomas. And it looked like early in the game, Oregon was rolling offensively on the ground, but you have to credit Fresno State defense getting the ball back to the offense in great field position in the second half. And then Derek Carr getting it done with a couple of nice passes to get on the board.
And the Duck fans were pretty comfortable at halftime, less so as we start the fourth. But Mariota's 28-yard run on the last play of the third has set Oregon up. Now Thomas gets to the sideline and is pushed out of bounds. You can see it's just waiting for the ball to be placed. Oregon's all 11 men are ready to play. Mariota. Ooh, he came close.
Watch as he comes down to tackle Barner. He gets the tackle, or gets a block by the tackle Tyler Johnstone, and cuts it up inside.
Oh, Mariota, the ball's free, and Fresno has it. Mariota took a huge blast. Philip Thomas had jarred the ball free, and Fresno State has forced its third fumble of the second half.
Well, last week there was a blitz or two that Mariota did not recognize. And right there, Philip Thomas, who has been such a huge addition this year on this defense after being out all year last year, comes in, blasts Mariota, and another forced turnover and a big play for the defense.
So Derek Carr back to work. Going to run the ball on first down. Robbie Rouse avoided a bigger loss. Still will have a minus play out of this. I mean, you're saying we're into the fourth quarter now, and Oregon has not scored a point in the second half after making a lot of last week and this week, making it look so easy for so long. Devontae Adams. So without as much depth in the wide receiver core, Adams and Burse have been the main targets for Carr today. Nice counter play. They ran this earlier, and Robbie Rouse runs it big time inside the Oregon 40.
A great job again. Everybody showing blitz on the line of scrimmage for the Oregon Ducks. And right between the center of the guard, the lane pops wide open for Robbie Rouse, and he gets into the secondary.
Carr throws it for a completion. And Adams take a big hit there. What does that running play, what is that trying to take advantage of, Adam?
Well, Oregon's defense, especially their linebackers, they're so fast and they pursue over the top so well. So what they do when they fake that sprint out action, they get the linebackers going one way, and then Robbie Rouse is able to cut back against the grain.
Oregon just made some defensive subs. Hand the ball to Rouse. Can't find a hole there on the right side. Middle blitz. Carr throws a deep ball, incomplete. Receiver did not get there, and a flag comes down. Victor Dean.
Pass interference, defense number 27. Automatic first down.
A three-man bunch to the right. Run it to the left. Robbie Rouse's 22nd carry. Well, 9 men now within a yard of the line. And Fresno does try to run against that, and Rouse gets very little.
Robbie Rouse, it looked like they had a chance, but Taylor Hart in there at defensive end, stacking everything up.
So now Fresno State goes empty. Rouse is at the bottom of your screen. Oregon drops back now. They play too deep. Carr throws the underneath cross. That will not get the first down.
And again, the Ducks defense forcing field goals in the red zone.
And Brashear's kick is good. Did he call the bank?
It's good.
And Fresno does kick it. Addison coming up. And does break the 20 to the 23.
Well, after getting the ball back in their own territory, Derek Carr drops it right in the bucket to Isaiah Burse. We had Kiko Alonso bearing down on him, took a pretty good shot in the knee. That was a great job improvising, buying some time, and making a play.
Carr 25 out of 43 today throwing. 3 turnovers by Oregon so far in the second half. Trying to sustain something here, and they get a ball again to DeAnthony Thomas.
I think it's just a matter of settling down and being where you're supposed to be, quite honestly. I think it's that simple.
Just playing back. Second down handoff. Barner going to stretch. Barner first and all the way out across the 40-yard line. An inside give here to Barner on first down. Barner's had this kind of workload last year. He had a 31 carry game for 171 against Arizona State. He now has 27 carries today for 148. Inside give to Barner, trying to break it outside, and does bounce it out just shy of a first down at the 50. Darren Smith again for Fresno State.
Well, nice job by Laierla pushing down his defensive end, and Kenjon Barner seeing the cut, making it, then getting the stiff arm.
3 receivers left, running inside, and Barner got the first down. He took a good pop there from Patrick Sewell.
Watch him feel the hole right here. But Barner falls forward. Nice job by keeping his legs going. Yeah, it looks like he's getting the signal from Chip Kelly.
Outside gets Thomas. And Chip Kelly calls the plays here so that they get a 3-man signal set on the sideline is what Mariota is looking at. Barner runs it inside. He's going to get to the 36-yard line. So let me suggest something that might be blasphemous, but I'll suggest that there you see you've got the boards, and those are very entertaining boards, but there's 3 people alongside that do hand signals. All meant to disguise. 3rd down and short. Ooh, a high snap handled, and the first down run again by Barner. There's Fresno this time all over the run. Oregon is marching the ball for the first time in the half, stringing first downs together, and side benefit perhaps, but it's running clock. Now Barner bursts, and Barner's inside the 20.
Oh, and it's clever stuff by Barner, the patience. You see the offensive lineman getting to the next level. A nice vision right there to see the cut.
Barner told us a great story yesterday. We asked him what was the best reaction he had heard from an opposing defensive player about Oregon's tempo, and he told us that there was one game where he ran a bunch of plays, and one of the defensive linemen said, if you run one more play at this tempo, I'm going to throw up. And Barner seals the deal. And in Eugene. Now a big collective exhale. The second half frustration ends as Barner finishes the drive.
There's a miscommunication right there. Philip Thomas and Sean Plummer. Philip Thomas was responsible for Mariota, and Sean Plummer didn't see Kenjon Barner. He crashed down, and it left an easy lane and a path to the end zone.
And there you see Barner gets over 200. His first time. First time for Oregon since LaMichael James ran for 219 last year against UCLA. And that drive, effective in every way. Builds the lead, burns the clock. Running inside Autzen Stadium today has been Kenjon Barner. 3 rushing touchdowns, 201 yards.
He's gotten the tough yards inside. It's a heck of a day for Kenjon Barner.
Isaiah Burse coming up, and Fresno State today. One area that I think they'll be okay with is special teams. Quicken Loans, amazing play of the game and an amazing first half. This was the play by DeAnthony Thomas.
Well, how can you not talk about DeAnthony Thomas? He goes upfield, breaks a tackle by a thumper and Philip Thomas, and game in, game out, he does nothing but impress and excite everybody who watches.
Carr for the Fresno State offense, 44 passes. And number 45 is going to be Davante Adams, and he's just short of a first down. Now on third down they get Robbie Rouse running the ball, and Rouse, that'll give him a 100-yard day. It was actually a backwards pass to Rouse, and he's dropped. It actually goes down statistically as a running play because it was a backwards throw. Carr throws one up there, and Victor Dean, and since the defensive back Jackson did not turn to face the ball, he'll get a flag.
Pass interference, defense number 15, not playing the ball, 15-yard penalty, first down.
You heard good explanation, not playing the ball. And this is Aaron Peck, who is the receiver.
That's an easy call.
So Fresno State gets a first down at the Oregon 31. Look out to the side. That might be another first down to Davante Adams.
For this team, young guy has a lot of football to learn, but they showed a lot of potential.
Oh, nice cutback run by Rouse, and Fresno State will have first and goal.
Personal foul, defense number 5, leading with the helmet, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Now that's that safety rule Isaac Dixon called, leading with the helmet. May well get that next week at home. And there's a good tackle to prevent the touchdown. That's Jackson again, but the flag comes down. Now the helmet came off. He has to leave for a play. A lot today. They've only scored 1 touchdown.
And that's probably going to be the one thing that Tim DeRuyter's not going to like.
And they get a second one easily there by Rouse. With 90 seconds to play. So Robbie Rouse's first rushing touchdown today, 115 yards. The Bulldogs line up for 2 and roll out Carr. And the back of the end zone does not get it. Intended for Watson again. Would have been at the back of the end zone anyway.